We got new stuff. We got saved. Move my mic closer.
Well, I understand you are the judicial assistant to the defense. But why this sudden ingress into my courtroom?
A judicial assistant. And a woman, no less. Society's misogynistic nowadays. The rules state that females are not permitted into this court of law other than to testify. Yes, I fully understand. I ask only for 5 minutes of time. I have some vital evidence that I must hand over to the defense. It's too late, little girl. This trial's already been concluded.
5 minutes? I will allow no more.
But, Your Excellency, I am most grateful.
What you got for us?
Who are you? Oh, I pressed the Windows button by accident. I'm sorry. There's no time. Please simply accept this for now. What is it? A report about something? Written in English. It's Giselle Brett's research. The English woman's? After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university. I went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical faculty and borrowed this paper. Oh yeah, that's right. Miss Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't she? So, does this research, whatever it is, have something to do with the case? I'm afraid I don't know. I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself. Of course not. Of course not. Special characteristics of Curare and its effects on human subjects. Interesting. Curare? What's that? I've never heard that word before. Is it poison? Time's up! The prosecution demands the immediate removal of this female trespasser from the courtroom. There was too little time for me to read it in detail, but I've summarized what I could on a note just inside the cover. If you think it could be vital, please cast your eye over it. This is wonderful. Thank you. Giselle Brett's report has been entered to the court record. Report detail. There's the poison. An unknown poison that Miss Brett has been researching during her time at UMA University. Goodbye then, and good luck. Thank you. We needed that. Look at that. Right now. Look at that right now. Poison made from the bark of certain trees in the jungles of South America. The hunters of the region have used this since ancient times to incapacitate their prey. Effects: instant paralysis of the entire body and subsequent death, even in minute doses, minute doses. Rudimentary. The above mentioned effects occur when the poison enters this body through a wound, such as that inflicted by a blowpipe dart. Due to its ability to render the human body paralytic, it's believed that the toxin could have applications as an anesthetic. However, a solution for the respiratory arrest caused as a result of the full body paralysis must be found first, or patients would die of suffocation. There's our answer. There's our answer.
You have had long enough, counsel. We cannot detain our English guest any longer. I ask the prosecution and the defense now one last time. Does either side have any further evidence to present to the court? I presume not.
The prosecution has made its case convincingly clear already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency.
Ryu, we're out of options here. This really is our very last chance.
Yeah, I know. Your Excellency, defense does have new evidence.
That look. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. Well, Miss Brett,
Yes, Your Excellency?
if you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us with your presence a little longer.
It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid it's not so very long until tea time. I have to politely.
Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seems I wasn't clear. I realize it was phrased as a question, however, your ass is staying here. I must ask you to treat this as an order.
I've said it many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense.
My apologies, dear lady. So, counsel, what is this new evidence that demands the court's attention?
I got it right here, Your Honor. I got it right here.
Yes!
Miss Giselle Brett, we understand that you are studying under Dr. Wilson at Yume University doing research. Research, by sheer coincidence perhaps, into a deadly poison?
What? Poison? Where are you going with this, counsel?
The toxin known as Curare, Your Excellency. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death.
Objection!
Shut up. What complete and utter nonsense? Curare, you say? I've never even heard of it.
You wouldn't have, though.
What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean?
I mean that you wouldn't have heard of the cure before for one very simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country.
It doesn't exist?
Yeah, correct.
Which means, no matter what test the police could do for toxins, they'd never identify Curare. Why? Because there is no test available here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison. Got him. What? Got him.
Order! 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 Counsel, does this deadly poison truly exist?
According to this research report, authored by the visiting student from England, Curare has long been used by the tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems that it's reasonably known well among European doctors and scientists. To lace their arrows? The report states that it is produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle, and it was first brought back to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. It claims that animals shot by arrows laced with Curare suffer instant death. Doesn't that sum about it? Does that sum it up, Miss Brett?
Objection!
Hold it right there. Trumpery. These assertions are no other trumpery. To start with, if the victim had been administered some of this so-called deadly poison, he would have been squirming and writhing in pain, and the other diners would have surely noticed.
That's true. What do you say to that, Inspector?
Obviously, I would have noticed a disturbance like that. I don't remember anything like that either. I didn't notice the professor being in any kind of pain.
According to this, however, it's the other way around.
What do you mean, the other way around?
The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that Curare was used. Explain yourself, counsel.
Kaz, you take over. I gotta reread this. The moment this toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they were in total agony, there will be no visible signs of pain at all.
Well, terrible.
Obviously,
If a man lost all strength in his muscles, he'd collapse on the floor. But with a chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effects could largely go unnoticed.
But I'm not following, guys. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death.
The full explanation is extremely unpleasant. Poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe, it causes the muscles that control respiration to fail.
Respiration?
In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation. And all the while, the victim is conscious and aware, just unable to move.
That's hideous.
To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments will be a living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly cure poison. What do you have to say to that? And you're suggesting that this bottle, Counsel, actually contains this terrifying poison?
Objection!
This is all very convenient, isn't it? A hitherto unknown poison, for which there is no means of testing. A happy tale for the defense. If I may. All these facts, you think you're so clever, but you... Ah! It is you who must be taught. Of course. Dear lady, please don't punish me. So, this is how you Japanese behave, is it? Excuse me, ma'am? You steal another's honest hard work and then announce the result as if you discovered it? I'm appalled. What a loathsome act.
Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual, the racist says.
Whatever do you mean?
Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for a heinous crime? That really is a loathsome act. Wouldn't you agree?
Objection!
Enough of this! I, for one, refuse to accept it. The idea of some poison that doesn't even exist in the great empire of Japan is... it's breaking the rules.
What's so funny?
Excuse me, Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett?
May I borrow that bottle for a minute, please?
Well, yes, I don't see, why not? There's nothing in it, isn't there?
Don't get too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boys. Yo!
Yo, she's being racist.
To an English woman such as myself, this whole affair is a fact. Farcical. This whole affair is a farcical comedy. Your little police games and these foolish courtroom antics. It's laughable, really. But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the games to end. Cheers. Wait, what are you doing? No sparkle left at all.
How appropriate for this shabby affair. Oh, fuck, she got us. Goodness. Whatever is the matter? You all look quite stunned. So, no cure. The bottle's clean? Is that what you're saying? You look quite incredulous, boy. But of course! That's the simple truth. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely here in this grand venue. Most kind. Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency. Yes, Miss Brett. I should like to be excused now, please. I think I've given more than enough of my time with the furtherance of friendship between our countries. Yes, dear lady. We're most gratified with all the assistance you have given. Yo, Kaz, what do you do? This doesn't make sense. There had to have been poison in that bottle. So, how does she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale? I don't understand it. Well, I suppose, if nothing else, this little Far Eastern charade will make for interesting conversation at the next party I attend in London. There has to have been poison in the bottle, doesn't there? But there can't have been, because otherwise she would have killed over death. Come on, Ryu, come on. We have all the clues now. That bottle of water. Let me look at that again. Let me look at the record. Let me look at the record. Enters the body through a wound. Through a wound. It has to be through a wound. You can just drink it. She has the solution already. She's got the antidote. It contains poison. We gotta continue. Push on. The culprit did put Cura poison into Dr. Wilson's carbonated water. The defense refuses to change its position. You're serious?
Objection!
Bro, are you blind? There's no possible way that poison contained poison. That bottle could contain poison. I mean, we just saw Miss Brett drinking the water from it. That's right. Which would rather complicates your argument, I think. And I believe that complication can be explained. How? Exactly. I need to think through all the things that don't quite add up here, one by one. I'm sure the answer is in the evidence we have in the court record somewhere. It has to be. Very well. If the defense truly intends to assert this claim, then I must ask you to support its assertion with evidence. What explains how the witness was able to consume this supposedly poisoned water unscathed? I think I already read this. Yeah. It's in the book. It has to be in the book. Okay, this is clearly a record of some kind of medical treatment. And there's an entry for the day of the professor was killed. Extraction with the use of anesthesia. Extraction with the use of anesthesia.
Extraction? So he had a tooth out.
Yes, it sounds like just before he went to lunch, Dr. Wilson had to have a decayed tooth removed. They probably used laughing gas, so he couldn't feel anything. It's the latest medical advancement in the West. Yeah, I've heard people talking about this new idea of anesthetic. It's impossible to imagine not being able to feel pain now. This is our clue right here. This is our clue. There's a cautionary note at the end from whoever wrote this. It says, no food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. Anesthesia. Let's look at this again. Instant paralysis of the entire body. Yup. Enters the body through a wound such as that inflicted by the blow dart. Practical applications. Due to its inability to render the human body paralytic, it's believed that the toxin could have application as an anesthetic. However, a solution for the respiratory arrest caused as a result of the full body paralysis must be found first, or the patients would die of suffocation.
Did she go to the hospital with him? Did she go with him?
But it would have been instant. Nah. He was already under anesthesia. Let's just go with it.
Yes!
The answer to this riddle is right here in Miss Brett's own research report.
Objection!
That's not a valid explanation.
No.
After all, we don't speak English. That report is utter garbage. This impudent young scoundrel is trying to ridicule the court, Your Excellency. I'm not trying to ridicule anyone, honest.
I'm just reading Sasaki-san's notes. I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered in its entirety by the court.
What?
You will direct us to pertinent section, Counsel. Which section of the report reveals the alleged answer to this riddle? Okay. It's not the synopsis. It has to be the special characteristics. It has to be the special characteristics. Because it has to enter through the wound. It has to enter through a wound. It has to enter through a wound. It has to enter through a wound. That has to be it.
We've been hearing a lot about this Curare poison. And it's left me curious about something.
Oh? Counsel?
Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using this poison for years and years. Place the heads of the arrows that they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting.
So we've been led to believe, yes.
And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat. Get to the point, please. God. But if they were to use these laced arrows, doesn't that mean there would be traces of poison
left in the prey the hunters were going to eat? Yes, good point. I see where you're going with this. So surely, the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? Because then they'd be eating poison. Good gracious, Counsel! No, that would be madness. But I actually found the answer to that conundrum in this research paper here. Under special characteristics, it says, the poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound. Good job breaking that down, Ryu. A wound, you said? See, that makes sense. Yeah, the mention of that particular detail seemed a little strange to me, though. But it all makes sense when you interpret what's written like this. When Curare enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poisonous effects whatsoever. What? Miss Brett? You authored this research. You knew Curare's special characteristics. And you knew that you could make a spectacle of drinking that water without any danger to yourself. Get him, Ryu! Get him! You meddling little rapscallion! Yeah. Oh, now you're mad. Now you're mad. Oh, Ryu, it turns out you're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be. Really? Me? Little old me? Lawyer?
Objection!
All this poisonous talk is fascinating. I'm sure. But I fail to see how it...
So the
Little Brett little puppy has a new toy to play with. Some facts you read in a book.
But I'm afraid knowledge doesn't suit you, boy. It only makes you look silly. What are you trying to say? Your schoolboyish logic has a fatal flaw. Schoolboyish? Flaw? As if your brain has managed to deduce Curare is safe to ingest. It seems likely that its effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of the gastric mucus. Succus. Oh, yeah, well, of course. Gastric suckers. The fuck is that? So, if this lethal poison is completely harmless when drunk, the professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he? That's right. Good gracious. That's basic science. Science that even a schoolboy should be able to understand now. Order! Order in court! Order! The logic holds. If the lady and the professor drank the same poison, they would be affected the same way. Are you trying to suggest?
Yes! This Curare poison is completely irrelevant to the case on the trial.
Bro, this is not your point. This was her point.
That's right. Surely, even a little cockroach like you could understand something as simple as that.
Nah, you mad. What is this welling up inside me? I've never felt like this before. It's a sort of conviction to break down all the discrepancies. It's so intense, almost rage-like. More than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey. Talk on it. Get her.
Objection!
Oh! I don't think so, Miss Giselle Brett. Oh!
Oh, we here. We here now. We here. You put the big boy pants on.
How dare you use that tone with me?
You know very well that there's no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why, even though both of you and the victim swallowed the same poison. You are alive. But Mr. Dr. Wilson is dead. Ugh. Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you. You must provide compelling evidence. As we now know, this poison is completely harmless when ingested. Why would Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by the curer? Because he was wounded, Your Honor. Did you forget?
Take that!
Oh! I'm sorry, Counselor, but the slipshod manner in which you tossed that does not inspire confidence. Was that wrong? Huh? Listen, Ryu. There's no need to overthink this. You know that Curier's toxic effects only come into play when the poison enters his body via a wound. Right, so that can only mean that when Dr. Wilson drank his glass of water, he must have had a wound somewhere that led the poison in. I picked the picture, right? Exactly. So we need some evidence that will prove the professor had a wound inside his mouth. A wound inside his mouth. Ah, there we go. There we go. There we go. Of course. There we go. I'm sure I don't need to remind. Okay. I got it now. I got it now, Your Honor. I got it.
Take that!
My fault. As Miss Bretz so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners. Fatal difference? The toxic effects of Cure are only felt when the poison enters the body through an open wound. So for a healthy person with no injuries, drinking it is completely harmless. But what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water? Inside. Yes, like the one you might have if you had just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example. Oh! Miss Brett, you've acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you were well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment that day. Ah! So that's it. You used that knowledge to orchestrate this. She? Laughing? I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly, I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are also puerile. What do you mean? What does puerile mean? Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough. Oh! Did she just dip? Oh. You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it. No! I mean, it could just slip. Oh, you bitch. Oh dear. How careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed. No! Oh, you bitch. What is it? What just happened? It's the English woman. She just smashed a bottle in the courtyard. What a terrible blunder. Officer, what are you waiting for? Collect up as much water from my broken bottle as possible. At once. You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet under my feet here was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you, it will soak up the water beautifully. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it. Oh, you bitch. How could you? You won't get away with this. You can thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know now, will you? If there really was poison in the bottle. Or not. You. And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right? Counsel for the prosecution? Well, of course, of course. You're referring to this photographic print, I presume, dear lady. That's right. And really, looking at this photograph, it's as clear as day, isn't it? Maybe I was a little ahead of myself. Maybe I was a little ahead of myself. The poor professor was sitting with his back to me. So of course the only person who could have shot him from the front is the little schoolboy.
Objection!
No! You killed the victim that day, using clear air. And then, in order to frame you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, for the crime, you waited until he picked up the pistol you had arranged for him to find on the floor, before you shot the professor's dead body in the chest with your own handgun. Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor in his chair around. You see, you had every opportunity to commit this crime. What a wonderful imagination you have, young man. A hidden gun, you say? And I shot the professor's dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence. Exactly. As you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution's stance remains unchanged. The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. End of story. Delivered in cold blood by the accused, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. This is unbelievable. How can this be happening? We had her. You really gonna get away with it? The way she destroyed that evidence was obscene. Ryu. Yeah. You've come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish it. What? What do you mean? You've lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true. So if there are any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head. My head? You told me before that your powers of observation were the one thing you could really depend upon. Well, yeah, but that's true, but I'm a little nervous now. I didn't manage to notice that this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head. I don't know how I didn't notice that. So think back now. Try to remember every last detail about the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell. What I saw, what I felt, every color. Is Kazuma right? Somewhere in the vibrant memory of the same scene in my head, could there be another clue to expose the identity of the Wilson's killer? Nah, there's nothing, man. No, there's a clue. There's a clue. Actually, cuz, I think I might have something. Thinking back over everything I saw, I think I might have uncovered another clue. You always have something on your sleeve, don't you, Ryu? Come then, let's wipe that smug smile off that Englishman's face with some evidence. Alright, I can't wait. It's been niggling me. It's been niggling me for a while. Some things are missing my memories that day. Whatever it is could be the key to arriving at the truth about all this. It's here somewhere. The clue that shows who Dr. Wilson's killer is. It's gotta be that blood, right?
Take that!
Take that! Inspector Hoku not there. Inspector Hosu. Answer me this. Yeah, yes. What is it? He's still miles away. Probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you said a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigations, don't you? Absolutely. I wonder, therefore, if perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day?
Objection!
Wait a minute. Where are you going with... Where are you going with this little boy? It's just a memory that's been troubling me. What memory? I saw the scene shown in this photographic print with my own eyes that day. And I saw on that wooden base of the table that the steak was served on was a spattering of blood. What? Oh, really? Well, obviously that must have happened when you shot the professor. No, that can't be the case. Take a good look at this photograph and the relative position of everything here. The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. If I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front, there's no way that blood from the victim could have ended up directly behind him. Yes, the blood to have made it on the plate implies the plate was between the victim and the shooter, which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite side of the professor, as you were. Giselle Brett. I beg your pardon?
Objection!
This is beyond ridiculous, fabricated nonsense. The court is seriously expected to believe something the accused has apparently just remembered seeing.
Hold it!
Oh, that was me. Oh no, that was Hosu. That was Hosu. This could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to. Inspector, you mean? Yes, I took the plate in the interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime. I took it, meat and all, and I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it. You did what? I took the steak that you had been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that the sergeant had been eating. And I did it all in the name of justice. W-mans, W-mans, W-mans. Then we can find out for sure whether or not there's a blood stain on Miss Brett's plate. We must examine it now. Inspector, the court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table immediately. Yes, sir. Sorry for the delay. Here's what you ordered. The steak. Well, what about the blood? Is there blood on it? Of course there isn't. Quickly, Inspector. The blood, man! Throw the cord! He's breaking character. The blood, man. Of course. Examine the plate at your leisure. Where is it? It's not there. It's not there. No. No blood. She cleaned it. No blood anywhere. No. It's impossible. I know I'm sure of it. I was right there on the table behind the professor. There was blood on the side of the plate. What an unbecoming expression, little boy. You see, this is why I always say you can't trust what the Japanese tell you. I couldn't agree more in the case of this disgrace to the Empire. I believe we may have finally reached a conclusion in this trial.
Let's hope so. This let's pretend attempt at courtroom proceedings is painful to watch. But I do promise to do my best to forget all about it when it's over.
You sneaky little goose.
This sorry-looking steak reveals the facts all too clearly. If the sorry-looking accused witnesses to examine it again, be my guest.
Well, guess what? That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. Was the plate I saw, or thought I saw, just a figment of my imagination? Nah, Ryu, it's not. Let me look at it. Let me look at it. Let me look at it. I want to discover for myself. There's nothing. This is it now.
Lost.
Ryu, it's not over yet. Not until the final gavel.
Huh?
Never stop believing in yourself. Keep looking forward, no matter what. Believe in myself. Really? Maybe I should at least examine the evidence for myself, as the evidence requested by the defense has not been shown to be problematic in any way. I presume any further examination of evidence in this trial will be unnecessary. Does the defense have any objections? That bloodstain was going to clinch the trial for me. Can this plate of steak reveal any other clues at all? There's another clue.
Press on. Your Excellency, please wait. This plate of steak is hiding another clue. Another clue that will reveal the shocking truth.
Objection!
The only thing shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with beefsteak. Your Excellency, I think I've made myself clear, haven't I? I will not be able to turn a blind eye to any more unnecessary procrastination in this trial.
I'm sorry, Miss Brett, but we must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. I will not give a ruling until I'm completely satisfied that all reasonable doubt has been dispelled.
I see. And you will affirm the ally of my country. That's your that's still your position, is it?
Thank you, Your Excellency. Counsel for the defense, you will now clearly show the card to what you are alluding. Where precisely on this plate of beefsteak is this new clue to be found?
Ooh! Huh? What in the world is this?
I think it's a
Koban coin? From the shop dude.
and the hallmark is from the Hoei area, I believe.
No, I don't mean what is it? I mean, what is it doing there?
Wait,
Did you say it was a Hoei Koban?
yes. And apart from the meat juices, it looks to be in good condition. I imagine it's very valuable.
This isn't the first time today that there's been talk of a Hoei Koban.
I've heard of pearls before swine, but I've never heard of bullion and bullion.
And I don't think you ever will again. This is extraordinary, though. This means... Whose plate was this? Ooh. This was the old guy's plate.
Got it!
Got it!
Good.
Good gracious, that's... Koban? What on earth?
A Hoei era one out of that. Miss Brett?
This is in fact the beefsteak that you ordered at the restaurant on the day in question. Is it? You swapped plates, Missy. You swapped plates. Tell me, why is there an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat?
Shut up!
Don't tell me to shut up. What a ridiculous question. How should I know? I've never seen that thing before in my life. I don't know what that is, but I want no part of it.
Objection!
I fail to see how this is relevant. A coin under the meat? A meat under the bone? That could simply been a careless mistake by the chef in the moment of distraction.
Objection!
Don't be absurd. We're supposed to believe that this happened by accident in the kitchen. A rare Hoi Koba just happens to be underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll rip up my ticket to Britain. I'll rip up my ticket to Great Britain right now. He's right, it can't be a coincidence. Your Excellency. Yes, Counsel. A rare Hoi coin just happens to be underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll give up my lawyer job right now. What? Bro, you're not a lawyer.
Objection!
By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyway.
Shut up!
Yo, Riri, did you just copy my line?
Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that it is you who is irrelevant.
Even though I'm the one on trial here? The point is, it's essential that we ask the owner of this coin if he can explain what it's doing under that steak. The owner? Yes, it's obvious. There's only one person it can belong to. The owner of the koban that was found underneath the beef steak is... Where is he? Here he is.
Take that!
Yeah, bring him out. Obviously, it can only be the antique dealer and owner of Rasute, Kiryo Korakuta-san.
Kiri? As in Mr. Cucumber or something?
Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable. Ah, yes. The old man who testified earlier alongside the military sergeant, correct? Yes, Your Excellency. I remember him saying he was up to something with his Koban coin when that happened. At exactly the moment the gun fired. He was looking for it.
The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Indeed, the Hoi era Koban, my prize coin.
Then this Hoi era Koban. Do you mean to tell me?
Objection!
Now. Please, why would Korakuta-san's Koban be sandwiched between the big beef steak and his plate? It makes no sense.
Yes!
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Which is why I'm asking to bring Korakuta-san back to the witness stand so we can ask him. Officer, bring both witnesses that testified earlier back here. Without a moment's delay. Both of them. I can't believe we've come back around to that pair again. But I have a hunch. A strong hunch. That if we chase down the real significance of this Koban, we'll find that it's a key element to this case. Bro, we have 4 people on the witness stand. We have 4 people on the witness stand. This is crazy. I'm all for this. I'm all for this. This is crazy. This is about to get crazy. Rest my voice for a bit. Drink some water. Take a little break. Y'all hydrate too. And we go to the bathroom as well. back, drank some water. My Twix bar that I had in the fridge. Yo, I hope y'all are immersed. Oh, I hope y'all are just as immersed as me. I hope y'all are immersed. This is great. This is drama. This is drama right here. I like this. This is already a very good first case. Very good first case. I gotta. Menace! Spider-Man! Spider-Man Menace! Alright. Spider-Man. What's this all about? Why have I been caught up here again? Don't you realize that it's dinner time for little baby Idol? My son's belly is empty. He's friends that are in a pack of wolves. Exploited by the police we were. Like miserable dogs forced to bear witness. False witness. And when cast from this courtroom myself, I became a ruined man in a trice. A worthless, withered antique. Nothing more again, I have to say. The sun has set on this Rasute shop's owner's existence. Be that as it may, Korakuda-san, something has come up to light. Something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as your Rasute memory serves, have you ever seen this?
Yes. That's it. The one. The very one. The very exact one that it is. The resplendent, splendiferous Hoei treasure that my rusty bones managed to misplace that fateful day. It can't be.
As I thought.
Young man, enlighten this decrepit old fool. Get me out of my misery. Where was this treasure? Where was it dropped?
I'm not sure if it was dropped anywhere. You found your coin sandwiched between a beefsteak and its plate, soaking in the seasoned meat's juices.
Sandwiched? Okay. Seriously?
Clearly, couldn't have fallen there by accident, which means somebody must have hidden it there on purpose.
Somebody concealed my Hoei treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate. Who would do such a thing? Unconscionable thing.
Excuse me. Could I say something? Yes, of course. Proceed, Inspector Hosonaga. I mentioned this earlier on in the trial, but I was working undercover in the restaurant in order to investigate another case.
Yes, that's right. The secret undercover operation.
La Carnival is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant that attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similarly executed thefts targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents have been reported to the police bureau. Wicked crimes indeed. We wanted to nip the case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being affected. So that's why you were sent an undercover, is it? Yes. I took on a job of waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. seems likely she's the criminal, isn't she? That this Koban incident is the work of the same thief. But unbeknownst to us, there was a master thief at work in the restaurant on a regular basis. This is on bussin'. This Twix is Twix cookies and cream. Never had this before. The place was already the scene of several crimes, it seems. I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who stole and hid Korakuta-san's Koban is all too clear.
What? What?
Oh yeah, that slaps. I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on this matter. Tell us, who was the despicable scoundrel that stole Korakuta-san's Koban and hid it under the stake? This bitch right here.
Take that!
Yes, seems like a likely candidate for a Koban thief. No, come on, Ryu. Huh? You shocked me, cuz. Not as much as you shocked me. No one could have approached the table unnoticed. Even if you're a crazy fool, you could... Oh, my fault. I'm not sure you should be calling Korakuta-san a crazy fool, cuz. It's you I was calling crazy fool. Ah, damn, my first miss. Maybe I don't... Okay, my fault. I don't believe I couldn't have heard you correctly, counsel. Let me hear your opinion on this matter again. Okay. These two are at the same table, so maybe it was him. My fault. I was putting another crime on her. She already has murder on her name.
Take that!
Obviously, it can only be you. Sergeant Yesanosa. What? How? How dare you? You monster! Monster? I stole that Koban die? I'm the master thief of La Carnival, am I? You're seriously accusing me of these crimes, cadet? But it wasn't me. It was Ido. Ido's the master. Whoa. You're blaming your child? Ido was the mastermind behind all this. You're blaming your child. You just snitched. You... What, bro? What? You would push the blame for your crimes onto your own son? An innocent little baby? It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa. Clippity cloppity. Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Yesanosa, preparing to stand down in the Supreme Court, sir. Wow. Do any of you know of the extraordinarily low wages that the Han Imperial Army pays those it expects to keep our country safe?
So, because money's tight in the army, you resorted to stealing. Hey, hi. U.S. Army does the same. You know. I understand that the temporary increase in taxation owing to the recently ended conflicts remain in place. Was lurking this whole time? I appreciate it. I hope you've been enjoying my voice acting. And getting immersed just like me. And I have heard it's hard for lower ranking soldiers to make a living, yes. I have I love this game. Another Ace Attorney enjoyer. Yes, sir. I love this series. Alright.
All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son.
That's why we were stealing things at the restaurant?
The place is heaving and heaving with money. Every 3 days, I'd go there and do reconnaissance for a target. And I'd enjoy chopping my way through a good steak at the same time.
Sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork even. Which is worryingly believable. And you would bring your son along? Would you be bringing your son along every single time you do this? That's crazy, bro. And your target that day was the old man and his Koban?
Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all.
A veritable phantom thief you are.
I was all set to leave the steak I was halfway through devouring when it happened. Bang.
Yeah, when the professor was shot.
I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. Idle too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could. On the double. I slipped it under the steak, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date.
Wow, bro. You owe that old man an apology. For real.
This is ridiculous. Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattling in your own time.
Well, Miss Brett?
Of course, dear lady. Of course. How rude of us. I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. May the esteemed gentlewoman please be excused, Your Excellency.
Indeed. No! She's not going nowhere. No. The theft of the Koban was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant. It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder. No!
Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat? The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. Nonsense, is it? Well. And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense.
It's pure madness. Next, you're gonna tell me you eat with chopsticks.
Very well. Now that all questions concerning this witness's testimony have been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brett, you are free to leave.
No! No! You bitch. Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. And good day. You bitch, you're getting away. No. Ryu, don't look at me, bro. You gotta do something. Don't look at me. You do something. Ryu, what's the matter with you? This is no time for daydreaming. Stop looking at Mo. Oh, no, it's just something about Miss Brett's putting words there got me thinking. I can't quite work out what exactly. But something she said jarred with me. I feel like there was a contradiction in there somewhere. Something didn't quite... Let me look at that. What did she say again? What do you see? Good luck, everyone, and good day. Picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork. To be honest. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat to share nonsense. Hold on, bitch. There's a fork there. I need a full view of the steak. Hold on. Knife. Okay, knife and fork. Knife and fork. This fork is clean. Is it? Or is that the shading? I don't know. I might be reaching. I might be reaching. I might be reaching. I might be reaching there. Something didn't quite add up. If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking. Make your voice heard. Sorry? You can think later. But if you don't call out now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over.
Hold it!
Wait, Miss Brett. What is it now? I'm afraid, just one last time, there's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradiction in your parting words from just a few minutes ago. What are you talking about? Contradiction?
Objection!
What no student nonsense is this? I want to go home.
Well, what parting words are you talking about, Ryu?
Yeah, break it. Let's see. Handing a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness. Yes, I'm right. What she said there exposed an undeniable contradiction.
I'm going to need to see evidence, counsel. If Miss Brett's words truly are contradictory, where's the evidence to prove it?
I gotta look. What are you talking about, bro? Are you confused, Tuan? I don't know what I'm not following you here, Ryu. I'm not following you. Let me look at this.
Alright, here's the full thing. Hiding a coin under the lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astound me. And as for picking up the steak, picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness. Someone used them. Why are they dirty? Okay, let's go with that. Let's go with that. Let's go. It might be this picture. It might be this picture. Let's see. Yes! The photographic print of the scene taken immediately after the incident occurred. What's interesting is the plate of steak that you can see on the victim's table. The steak that Miss Brett had been eating before the professor was killed. Yes? Go on. More accurately, Your Excellency, the steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed.
Now you're just splitting hairs.
Not true. Doesn't something about this steak strike you as unnatural?
Unnatural?
What on earth do you mean? It's extremely obvious. Oh, hold on. Okay. Hold on, Ryu, hold on. Okay. It's kind of similar. Hold on. Look at the whole thing. Alright, I'm gonna just let you spit, bro. I'm gonna let you spit. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. The shape of the edge where it's been eaten. I see you noticed it too, Miss Brett. Noticed what, Counsel? Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could even contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork.
Of course she did. She's a refined English gentlewoman herself.
Then take a good look at the steak, in particular, edge where it's been eating. As you can see, there are clearly defined barbaric teeth marks there. So it's what I said earlier, she switched the plates. Okay, I overthought it. It's what I said earlier. She switched the plates. Yup. Okay. I'm with you now, Ryu. I'm with you. It looks like Miss Brett has realized something. So, if the witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife and a fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in a steak at all.
Objection!
What is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was ravenously hungry.
Oh, you sweating now, aren't you? You sweating now. What's wrong?
Oh, whatever you say, dear lady. As I said, I must really be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly be wait any longer. Of course, this will all be over in a blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put this rookie in his place. Sleep I've heard enough, you irritating little spectacled samurai relic. Of course, dear lady.
What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have you ruffled your feathers? Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She's realized the catastrophic implications these teeth marks in the stake have for her. Ryu, do you know where you're going with this? Yes. Now at last, it's all come together. The mysterious teeth marks in a steak that had allegedly been eaten with cutlery. The reason why the blood stain I saw somehow seemed to have disappeared. And most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day. I accept these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, counsel. What exactly are you suggesting that tells us? Everything, Your Excellency. Everything? Yes, I believe that these barbaric teeth marks on the steak here amount to conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that will prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson. Watch your mouth.
Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't know the meaning of the phrase. Typical Japanese empty threats.
How can you be so sure?
Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago.
Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet.
Hasn't been what?
But just because it hasn't been shown yet, doesn't mean that the evidence does not exist.
Now you're just playing spitting bullshit, sir. This is absurd. The trial has run several hours already, and you say there's evidence yet to be brought forward? There can't be. I don't believe you have it.
Objection.
I don't. But there is someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom.
And if that person is willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve everything remaining in this case. Very well. I have a feeling this will be my last request of the defense in this inquiry. Who possesses the conclusive evidence that will reveal the truth about this whole affair? It has to be you, right? How much other evidence do you have on you? The other plate, probably. The other plates.
Take that!
The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosunaga.
What? I have it?
Yes. You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence?
That's ridiculous.
Oh, that's your blood that was on the plate. That's your blood, probably. No, I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on this steak with the teeth marks. Yes. Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told the court the following. I'd enjoy chopping my way through a good steak. Capron, you have tuberculosis? He got some. And as well as admitting to stealing Korakuda-san's coin, he told us he slipped it under the steak.
You watch it, cadet. I'm a superior officer.
You're about to be a superior criminal. Shut up. Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was the steak that you put the coin under, in fact, your own steak?
And shut. Affirmative, of course. I might be a soldier in the Imperial Nippon Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentle lady if she'd mind me manhandling her meal to hide something in it.
In other words, steak that the detective... In other words, the steak that the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nose's meal.
Objection!
But that makes no sense. The plate was taken from the victim's table.
Objection!
Yet the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor did she have any opportunity to steal the coin.
Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest such a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire.
Well then, how do you explain this paradox?
Exactly. Surely you're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched the two steaks over.
I don't think he switched it. I think she did. But thank you for answering the question, Mr. I forgot your name. Wait a minute. Were you exactly right? Were you exactly right? Hold on.
You did switch the plates? Well, after it happened, the bang. When I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes like that, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted my steak and hid the coin underneath it. But then when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman, I thought I had it. If he decided to investigate my slab of meat, that'd be it. I'd be getting my marching orders.
Oh,
So when the cadet here was arrested and taken off to the kitchen, I seized my chance. Get down there right now.
okay, on.
With military precision and timing, I switched my steak with the one on the foreign lady's table. What?
Oh, bro.
You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing. It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you. So yes, I did what had to be done. Unbelievable. I'm losing. However, fear not, prosecutor son. What now? I swear on the brass buttons of my uniform. That is all I did, sir. Oh, you... That's plenty, Sergeant.
Yes!
That is plenty. You've answered all our questions. So if Sergeant Nosa switched the plates over, it means he took Miss Brett's steak and the plate it was on back to his own table. Yes, that follows. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Brett's steak after the incident, but also the sergeant's. That to preserve evidence, you had to take both. Oh, let me drink some more water. Hold on. This might be locked in now. This is a lock. This is a lock in. Ooh. Ooh. What's wrong? What's wrong, Brett? That's correct. Then please present it to the court now.
The plate that was actually on the victim's table. At the precise moment, he was shot. Yeah! 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 Bring it out. Bring it out. Bring it out. What can that possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat? It can't have the slightest bearing on the case.
Objection!
Shut up. Your time is over.
No, you're not wriggling your way out of this one, lady. I beg your pardon?
Surely, you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why the steak pan promises to prove such a problem for you, no?
You're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me.
The reason the defense asked to see that plate was to confirm something the defendant remembers seeing.
Thinks he remembers.
I'm quite sure of what I saw, Miss Brett. Ugh. On the side of the plate that was on a table directly behind Dr. Wilson, there was a clear spattering of blood from the gunshot wound to the victim's chest. I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. And now, we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating, Miss Brett. Let us not prolong this any further. Inspector, you will show the evidence to the court. Present the beefsteak and plate that was originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident. Yes, sir. Yeah, we got him now. We got her now. We got her now. I don't even have to look too deeply. I can see it. I can see it through the text box. I can see it through the text box. Sorry for keeping you. I can see it through the text box. There it is. Here is the other plate, and it's steak. Please, feel free to examine it. There we go. Look at that slice, too. Look at that slice. That's a slice from a knife. The blood stain. It's clearly visible. Look.
Yes!
Now this makes everything clear. The blood you can see on the side of the table shows that at the moment the victim was shot, he was facing the table, with his back to me. In other words, it's impossible for Naruhodo-san to have shot the victim. It can't be. In fact, there's only one person who could have possibly have shot Dr. Wilson from the front. I'm sure everyone knows by now who that person is. That's right. Miss Giselle Brett. It's you. You're done for. You're done for. Outdone. By Japanese? Me? By a Japanese schoolboy? No. No. No! Whoa. So that's a real goose? Whoa! Come back down here. We need to arrest you. What was that? Oh, we're gonna get some weird breakdowns. I love it. We're gonna get some weird breakdowns. That was great. That was great. That just gives me everything to look forward to. Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. Most unbecoming behavior for an English gentlewoman. Forgive me. We see through the act. We see through it now. Well, Miss Brett, I think it's time you told the court what exactly happened that day. The truth this time.
Gladly, Your Excellency.
It was I who took the professor's life, using Cure Air. As you surmise, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning. So you plan to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of poison would be found in his water, because Cure Air is unheard of here in Japan. Yes, of course. I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. I only needed to see the professor take one tiny sip of his water, and it would all be over. I would place the steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he had been dining alone, and leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table. It was Ryu. That would be me, I suppose. Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter. But the fact that you decided to come over to greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point. So I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment. I planned to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man. I happened to know that the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of Cure Air in my handbag, and my own pistol concealed under my skirt. See? Bro? If you would have looked under her skirt, you would have found a gun. So I gotta give you an L for that, Hosu. I gotta give you an L for that. So I was right. There were 2 guns. Yes. And then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. Placed where you were sure that I would notice it. And everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun as I had intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up... Evil setup. That's an evil setup. That's when you shot the professor with your own gun. Even though at that point, he was already dead. Naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared. Obviously, I assumed Naruhodo-san was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that adjoined the kitchen and locked him inside. That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor and his chair around. Because, of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant has shot Dr. Wilson from where he picked up the gun. Crazy.
So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor. Your Excellency.
Yes.
I wonder. Might I speak with you in private later?
I shall call on you. Why?
Thank you. Good day then, everyone.
Where are you going?
I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san.
Where are you going? Where are you going? Yo, Judge, is he not getting locked up? Yo, Judge. It would seem this trial has finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in. I presume the prosecution is in agreement.
This can't be. Takatsuchi Aoshi does not lose. Not to the likes of this rookie.
You better start getting used to tough opposition.
Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Yes?
This insult to the Aoshi family name will never be forgotten.
You become conceited with age, Counsel. But the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that.
Oh!
Wow. And now you will never forget that. He meant that. 1,000 millennia may have passed, and still, the Aoshi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan. This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system. Despite being summoned as the accused, you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case. Thank you, Your Excellency. The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth is a modern methodology. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world. But the Western ideas of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure that science will soon bring new methods of investigation and proceed new procedures of justice. A new future of law awaits. But what it will look like, I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. Kazuma Asogi. Yes. After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can. Absorb everything of the wider world that you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you. I understand, Your Excellency. Mission? What was that all about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden? Never mind. As for you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Oh, yeah? In you, I sense, how can I put it? Unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that on.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Wow. It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant Ryunosuke Naruhodo not guilty.
Yay! Cherry blossoms!
Wow. This court is now adjourned. Wow. What a good first trial, man. What a great first trial. What a great first trial. Trying to remember the other ones. Trials and Tribulations, that's top. Apollo Justices, that's top. Spirit of Justices, that's top. This one right here, this is top. Like, man. Such good first trials. Good first trials. 22nd November, 2:46 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Defendants to interchamber 5. I can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened. I made it. I defended myself and made it through that horrendous trial. Ryu, you finally pulled it off. Congratulations. Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, cuz. Nah. It was a pleasure to watch you work. So, you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place on Yume University Street. Don't forget. Good afternoon. All your hard work is permanently paid off.
Oh, all your work. Congratulations to both of you for proving Naruhodo-san's innocence.
Ah, our trusty judicial assistant. You worked hard for that result too, you know.
Oh no, I didn't do anything.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You came in clutch. You came in clutch for me. You came in clutch. Thank you.
If we hadn't had that research report of Miss Brett's, I don't know how things would have turned.
Your kind words should really be for my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to a university and investigate.
Your father? Yeah, of course.
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Jishajora. Yup.
Speaking of Mikotoba. Ah, there you are. I believe congratulations are in order. I forgot how I sounded with him. Naruhodo, you did an excellent job.
Thank you, Professor.
Oh, nah. It is I who should be thanking you, after all. Your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend.
Good friend? Oh yeah, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume University, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right. Professor Mikotoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. Presumably, that's when you met Dr. Wilson? Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital.
Oh, you worked together.
I've never heard you mention that before. Well, it was a long time ago now. Besides, it's your turn, Miyasogi. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world. In science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot. I will. I'll learn all that I can. I swear on this, spirit of the Asogi clan.
You're not taking that sword with you, right?
Of course I am. The Japanese man's katana is his soul. This blade shows me where I go. And cuts down anything that's in my way.
Yeah, I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes.
That reminds me. What's happening to the woman? To Giselle Brett, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder. Yeah. Her. It's not easy to tell you this, but,
she got away. They let her go.
What do you mean? Surely she's gonna face trial herself now. She's the true culprit after all. She will be leaving Japan in the very near future. For Shanghai.
What? Shanghai?
Giselle Brett will not appear in court again in this country. I'm sure of that.
But why not?
It's a matter of consular jurisdiction. Inspector Hosu. It was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. I must congratulate.
What's all this? What's all this about consular jurisdiction? I don't want to hear that.
We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan.
What? We can't try her. Who's gonna bring her justice?
A British consular court will hear her case somewhere far away, where our verses can't be heard.
But why a consular court?
Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past now that we signed the friendship treaty. Yes, in normal circumstances, you're right. Then, so long as this is not a serious incident of a highly political nature to our respective continents, they can't invoke a consular court just like that. Oh, can't they? Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our governments making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on. How important is she? How important is she? So Miss Brett can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan? I'm afraid that for the young student, today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her. I'm about to throw up. I don't believe this. The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over custody of Miss Brett. They're obviously taking this case of a foreign student committing murder very seriously. But it's all going to change from now on. We can make it change. This is a time of great turmoil. This new era, heralded by the start of the 20th century. One day, I have no doubt, that woman will receive the judgment she deserves. Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones who are driving it. Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink. Professor. You're right. This is no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Ryu's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun. In that case, might I suggest La Carnival? As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink. Do you actually like waitering now? Do you actually like waitering? You're a detective, Hosu's Naga-san, aren't you? Let's not worry about details for now. To La Carnival! Will you accompany us, Professor? Of course! La Carnival's food is second to none.
I should go and attend to the paperwork for Naruhodo-tan's release.
Oh, yes. Thank you. So Giselle Brett won't be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Kaz. Yes, Ryu? I just wanted to say thanks again, that's all. Really saved my skin today. I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? That defense was all your work. Bro, don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. I was struggling, don't lie to me. Your skills made a difference though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world. I'm not so sure about that. To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. I couldn't help thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me.
What? Come on, be serious, bro.
If I helped you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial.
No, stop. Stop being humble. You helped out a great bit.
But you have a natural talent for it. Being a defense lawyer, I mean. No, not me, bro. All that tense verbal combat, I never want to go through that again. I just did what you told me to, that's all. Because I knew I could trust you. That's the point. Sorry? What do you mean that's the point? Listen, Ryu. Do you know what the most crucial weapon that is that any lawyer needs in order to win? Belief. Belief. Knowledge of the law? No. The ability to believe. All of Phoenix Wright taught me that. To believe? To believe what? A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times. Like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it. I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth. But you have to make the choice about what to believe in, and stick to it when you're defending someone. Sometimes in a courtroom you can really be backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you choose to believe in even then, well, that's not something anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person. Believing in your client. Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious little real experience. But you never stopped believing in me. Well, you face seemingly hopeless situations time and again. But you never stopped looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it. Through your own efforts. Because you never stopped believing in me. Aw, thanks, guys. There's something I want to ask you, actually. Ryu? Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me. It sounds serious. What is... Oh, you're still here, aren't you? Oh, Inspector Hosu. I arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go! Thank you. We'll be right there. Let's pick this conversation up again later. No! We should be celebrating right now. Your first court victory. And your study tour to Great Britain, don't forget that. Ah, yes, that too. See, now I'm curious. So my very first trial came to an end. Cause Professor Mikotoba, Susato-san, who acted as my assistant, Inspector Hosu, who didn't really play much of a part, but still. The shade. It was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. I hope Hosu stays around. But more importantly, Kaz hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life. The foreshadowing. End. Save. Fantastic first trial. Fantastic. The Adventure of the Unbreakable Speckled Band. That's getting saved for next time. You cannot burn out on Ace Attorney. You can't just go back to back. Do not go back to back on Ace Attorney games. Ah, that was great. That was great. Yo, when Ryu finally he got his soul burning and got his first objection, his first real objection. Oh my gosh. And the music in this game too. Great music. Great music. Oh my gosh. I can see why people like the Great Ace Attorney a lot. I can also see why these ones are people's like number ones. I can see why. And who knows, maybe it will be my number one.